Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video you're gonna have a subtitle in English and in Spanish for my understanding of all this content. I hope you really enjoy it and see you the next.
Modern medicine has implemented lifestyle focus on young adults, and over time has made an increase in the number of older adults. But the treatment they use becomes less efficient with age. All we have a deadline. All the species have different times. Tortoises live up to 100 years or more, horses 40 years, but always share with the rest the diminution of memory, less production of hormone, loss of vision, and the reduction of bone and muscle tissues. But even we try to compare, we are kind of different. Humans are incredible. The first step of interest of the longevity of life was the war with microorganisms that caused many life in the history. But we discovered vaccines. The second was underlying disease like cancer and arterial hypertension. Now we know that we have some treatment to deal with this. And the third one is fighting neurodegenerative disease. And this is so incredible. We are interested in the quality of life. Over time, a number of theories have been developed to explain why we are getting older. To explain this, some of them and those ones that really interest me were this. Programmed Death by the German biologist August Weismann in 1882. His thinking and theory are that aging was a programmed process in order to benefit the youngest member by providing and conserving more environmental resources such as food, water, and habitation. The second one is the theory of antagonistic pleiotropy by biologist George C. Williams. He proposed that evolution allows the selection of pleiotropic genes, which means that the selection of genes beneficial for survival and reproduction in early age, but becomes harmful in advanced life. For example, genes for sex hormones are necessary for reproduction, but contribute to the risk of cancer in old age. The third one is Theory of Disposable Body by Kingwood and Holliday in 1989. They propose that aging comes from the maintenance, limitation, and reparation of somatic cells in time. All of the causes prioritizing reproduction. For that reason, they think that aging is a result of the accumulation of the damage through life. This one is the theory that marks a clue of aging and is well received by the scientific. So, trying to encompass everything said above, we can define aging as a functional and structural degradation with an alteration of the support and repair of those structures. Nowadays, with the revolution of technology, we are focused on molecular biology and the understanding of the cell's process in aging. It is not clear whether these are the causes, but it is recognized that these contribute to a phenotype of old age and susceptibility to a disease. So, as we talked before, molecular biology. We need to be intentional with that and seeing ourselves scientific divide this into causes that respond to those causes and consequence of all. We're going to explain each one. As the causes, we have short of telomeres and epigenetic change. What are telomeres? They refer them as the internal clock. The telomeres are at the end of the chromosome as a means of protection from DNA damage. To have this clear, imagine that you have knitting a scarf. So the wool that you use to make the scarf, you put at the end another piece of wool, only to record where I already finished the wool. Each time you knit, you reduce the space between the first wool and the wool you added. There will come a point where you will not able to continue knitting because the space is so short that if you continue it, you will stay with an incomplete scarf and it will disarm. You decide to live just like that. You have a short scarf, but it's not incomplete. So telomeres work. It marks the number of times that the cells can be replicated without reaction, a catastrophe. And for as time passes, the telomeres become shorter, and this point where it cannot reproduce anymore, it enters a cell death called senescence. And we are going to talk about this later. The second way that is attributed as a cause is epigenetic. This is a field study focused on the regulation of your genetic expression without this having an alteration of the sequence of your DNA, which means epigenetic modifications see what genes are expressed or inactive in your cells. In your case, maybe you have protected genes for aging, but epigenetic modification can be influenced by environmental factors, such as the sun ultraviolet radiation, and lead to an inflammatory that causes toxins and oxidants production. And this in a chronic expression can make a damage in the tissue and your cells. With old age, the expression of genes and proteins relating to mitochondrial function is often reduced, and often those relating to genome repair and oxidative overall are increased, which brings us to one of the response to those causes, mitochondrial dysfunction, connect with oxidation and aging. To understand more about the response of the cell, we have the term oxidation. Our body is always making trash as a result of the respiration and metabolism. This is known as free radicals based on oxygen, and they are very reactive. The organelle that makes mostly reactive oxidant is the mitochondria. If this organelle doesn't work properly, they are going to produce more oxidants. The cells have protective ways to control the substance through enzymes such as catalysis, peroxidase, but in the pass of the time, the mechanism is reduced as the drop that splinter the rock makes the danger. This theory is exposed in 1959 by HARMAN. It is identified that one of the forms of aging is oxidation. For this reason, the consumption of antioxidants has been recommended since its presupposed increase in this. But not everything with oxidant is bad. Oxidants are important to silence cells and inflammatory process necessary in immune system or immune reactions. So the balance of this factor is quite studied. Another response, as we talked before, is senescence, the death of the cell. There are two types of senescence: replicative, associated with short telomeres, and premature, associated with aggression and damage like oxidation. But they have the same result: a body run transcription and cancer formation. In other words, move to the dark side. It was believed that these cells were quiet, leading consuming and harmless, but not so. These cells release toxins and products that can damage neighboring cells. For this, the body has the immune system, which aids these cells, but over time they also decrease. Senile cells produce various cytokine, chemokine, and proteases called the age-related secretory phenotype, which are the main driver of age-related inflammation. The consequence of all this is what we see in a macro way: the capacity of the regeneration of the model cells reduced significantly. Also, the communication between the cells are deteriorated. We know how important is this for the normal function of tissues and maybe lead to a disease. Investigations are trying to find ways to reduce this by vitamins, hormone stimulation, and recovery of mother cells. In the future, maybe we can discover new things about this, things ever imagined, but by now, we need to live well. Don't expose yourself too much to those ambiental factors that damage your body, such as UV radiation, smoke, fatty food, and don't forget to enjoy. Everyone is gonna die one day. Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe, give me a like, and see you the next. Bye!